Down into the St. Albert zone. In along the boards. We've seen some pretty good hockey action. Here's a good chance. Oh, and a shot ricochets off the defenseman into the corner. Seen some good action here in the games played so far in this minor hockey tournament. Stoppage in play. And a penalty coming up. High sticking is the call by the referee.
My boy.
That's your boy?
That's my boy, Les, but I'm sure it was accidental.
Oh, well, yeah, you tell me that all the time with the Mooners. 2 minutes for high sticking, so that'll give St. Albert the power play advantage. That penalty at 1:10.
It's a double penalty there, Les. Number 14, Morris set for St. Albert.
Or is it a single just to St. Albert?
Uh-oh.
Ah, so it's Westlock on the power play. That penalty at 1:10 coming to the St. Albert Merchants as play is underway. It's Jamie Dayu cross ice. Back on the other side, that pass intended for Larson. It was a little bit out in front of him. St. Albert clearing it back out to wait for their teammates to get onside. Good pass over the left side, feeding pass behind, and St. Albert intercepting and flipping it down the ice. And that means that Westlock's Jamie Dayu have to go back and pick it up behind the netminder Bill Curtis, or Billy Curtis Jr., whichever. That was a bad pass there, wraps it off, but they get it back at center ice. Stewart going in across the line, looking for a man to feed it to, and gets dumped. Puck in behind the net, looking to feed the front of the net, and standing waiting for it was Stang for St. Albert. Clears it up to center. Some good back checking by Westlock, but St. Albert gets it back and throws it back into the corner, where Dayu goes back after it. Being pursued by Stang in the corner, out in front. Puck is in the skates. Good play there, playing the man. Dumping the puck up the left side. And St. Albert content just to wrap it back into Westlock territory. Westlock a little disorganized on this power play. Now they're changing on the fly. Puck lies at center, and they wrap it down. That's going to be icing. And they waved it off, ruling, I guess, that St. Albert could have played it, but that was a bad pass on Westlock's behalf, but they come out with it pretty good. Deflection in front off Norman Hennessy, and it just went wide. Westlock now starting to get organized on this power play. Looking for a man in the open. It comes out to the point. A shot, a deflection. Oh, good save by Ian Gray. I believe he stopped that one.
Well, it did eventually roll between his legs there, but gone.
That was a great deflection and a great save by Ian Gray, the netminder for St. Albert. So we'll have a face-off in the St. Albert end. No score in the game, and we've played 2 minutes and 59 seconds here of the first period. Of course, this tournament continuing on during the Christmas break up till Christmas Day. And we hope you all had a Merry Christmas season, because you'll be viewing this on January 5th. They score! Good deflection in front. Jamie Williams.
Jamie Williams shot that from the point, Les, and I believe it was deflected in with Van de Ligament there, just in front of the net.
That was a good shot. There's a good note to make to defensemen who are shooting from the point, and I know Wayne will back me up because he's usually standing in front of the net, is to keep those shots low. You can't deflect a puck that's up around a forward's waist. You got to have that puck no higher than a foot off the ice, preferably 6 to 8 inches, where a forward can get his stick on it, like that particular case. And a goaltender usually doesn't have a chance when you can change the direction of the puck that quickly. All right, so Westlock goes up in front 1-0 here. That goal coming at the 3.5-minute mark, or 3-minute and 20-second mark of the first period. Westlock dumping it into St. Albert territory. Check from behind there, so didn't get good wood on it. Puck comes back into the center ice area. Now over on the right side to number 12, and we got that's Stewart. We had a couple of program changes here that we're just trying to refer to. Don't have that one on my program, but in any case, we'll have Wayne rectify that. Well, there was a different kind of pass. That was waist high. Westlock in on the break again, and covering up on the play as he really couldn't get a shot away. St. Albert defenseman doing his job there. He couldn't really play the puck, so he tied the man up, allowing the puck just to slide to the netminder, Ian Gray, and he covers up for a faceoff. So now we've played, it's kind of hard to tell whether it's an 8 or a 6, but I think it's a 6. 3 minutes and 59 seconds. Pretty good action for the opening 3 or 4 minutes.
Yes, it has been. Westlock's been in the St. Albert end most of the time here. I don't think St. Albert's even had a shot.
They've dominated, and they have not had a shot on net yet. Back to the point, a ripping shot. Deflected a rebound. Over on the other side. Backhand, and it's up and over top of the net. Possibly should have taken a shot rather than trying to pass it there, but good heads-up play. Obviously saw the player in the open. Good move behind the net. That's Trent Shevsky, still with the puck. Dumps it back to the point. In off the board. Shevsky with it again, looking for a man in the opening. Dumps it back to the point. Attempted to get it back to Shevsky, and St. Albert intercepts it along the boards and brings it up to center ice. In across the line. They just dump it, and a little far for number 14, Adrian Morissette. So again, St. Albert haven't had a shot on Bill Curtis yet, the netminder for Westlock. And we're now past the, approaching the 5-minute mark here of the first period. Westlock trying to get organized. Dumping it over on the right side to Van der Galamet. A little far, so it's batted back. They're just going to play tennis with it here for a minute between the two blue lines. St. Albert trying to get something organized off the skate. Westlock going back, and a backhand pass by David Larson just failed to materialize. And we could have too many men on the ice here as number 6, Jay Williams, stepped on the ice. He didn't intentionally mean to do it, but the puck hit him in the foot before the other player was off the ice.
Well, St. Albert's just got a penalty here too, Les. I think it's for boarding or checking from behind. Oh, maybe it was roughing. Roughing, I guess, was the call.
So we could have coincidental minors here. Coach of the Westlock team is, of course, John Stewart. The manager is our color commentator, Wayne Williams. I guess we're pressing into double duty tonight, are we?
Yes, Les. You have to remember, this team had just come off a tournament in St. Albert on the weekend, where they ended up 4th, I guess, overall in the tournament. But they played 3 games on Saturday and then the final on the Sunday. So these boys are probably a little tired tonight, too.
Well, they're not showing too much of it here in the 5.5 minutes that have gone. They had lead at 1-0. Jamie Dayhu, I don't know, maybe he thought he was short-handed because he up and wrapped that puck down the ice, and icing called against Westlock, when really they are playing both a man short. So it's Jay Williams facing off. Draw comes around behind. Westlock trying to control it out in front. And St. Albert, number 15, Gordon Melson, shot it in behind the net. Now it comes back on the point for St. Albert. Moving in, nobody challenging him. A shot. And Bill Curtis got that one up the chest area. I don't think he saw it until it dropped to the ice, but that shows a goalie that plays his angles well. If you're playing your angles, you don't really have to worry whether or not you see it, because you should have everything covered, and he did on that case.
Well, Bill's a pretty experienced goaltender for this age group. He attends a lot of hockey schools, and you know, so he knows his angles.
I was just going to mention that he has probably attended the last 2 years for sure, I know. Excuse me, because in the off season he sometimes caddies for me, and I know sometimes I can't get him because he's at hockey school. Westlock back on the attack. But St. Albert's got it broke up. They're trying to get organized. Puck just dumped out of center ice. Back into St. Albert territory. St. Albert's number 15, that's Gordon Nelson. He loses it at center ice. Good move from Ferguson. Long shot. And Curtis steers that off into the corner. Westlock trying to get organized now. Pass over on the left wing to Hodgson. Hodgson back over on this side to Stewart. Dumps it into Westlock territory. Good play. He's going off for a change. St. Albert just cleared blindly, and Smith Gander going to pick it up, but it eluded him. Back comes St. Albert. Nelson in across the line. He's tied up from behind. Good play there by Westlock's Shevsky. That's about as close as you can come to a penalty without getting one. Kind of put the clamp on him a little bit. Westlock on the breakout now. 2-on-1. Hudson into the corner. And they called it icing. So the pass just a little bit hard off the boards, and sometimes those can stop about a foot short, and it's played just right. Well, we've played 7 minutes and 7 seconds here of the first period. Westlock leading it 1-0. As you're watching this game through the courtesy of QCTV, the community channel, Channel 10. And of course, you're seeing the game on January the 5th. We'd like to remind you we've got 3 more games for you coming up on January 7th. They'll get underway about 6 o'clock and we'll play concurrently. St. Albert just flips it up into their own players' bench. Usually when you do that, Wayne, you're supposed to flip it into the opposition's bench.
Yes, and things are kind of gone to a slow pace here for.
Nobody seems to want the puck.
Right.
They all seem to want to give it away to somebody. We've got, of course, a little bit different situation with minor hockey, and it's a great idea with the mass. That kind of play is not as dangerous as it used to be when they flip it up into a unsuspecting player's bench. St. Albert clearing it right down on Curtis. He'll leave it behind the net for Dayu. St. Albert coming up with it, though, and then overskates it. Larson for Westlock clearing it around the other side. That's Van de Lagemet. Hope we're getting that close. Up the left side, St. Albert holding it in, flying puck. And they rule it was gloved to another player. In this case, not ahead, but to another player. So it'll face off just inside the, or no, they'll go deep into the Westlock zone. 1-0 Westlock leading this game. Of course, I know we probably have a lot of the parents watching. There's a bouncing puck, a rebound. He flipped it over top of the net. As Westlock got a little bit lucky there, although Curtis made the initial stop. Westlock coming back, dumping it off the boards. Number 15, Vandal Government, trying to get something going for Westlock. Into the corner, back on the other side, didn't see it. Moved around, and Maruziak coming back is dumped for St. Albert as Westlock gains control again. And trying to find the opening, that'll be a two-line pass. As he was just a stride too far on the opposition side of the red line. So the face-off will be inside the Westlock blue line. Let's make it 8 minutes and 21 seconds have been played here in the first period. This, I believe, is first or second game for these teams in this tournament.
In this tournament here, the Merchants from St. Albert have already played a game this afternoon. This is Westlock's first game.
So we might see a little bit of difference in the conditioning, although when you get the young guys like this, that's not as big a factor as with the older guys when you're playing 2 games in one day. Back to the point. Here's Dayu's shot. A rebound, and it deflected in front of the net, but unfortunately, instead of deflecting a different direction, it went down. And that took the speed off it, and the netminder, Ian Gray, was able to gobble it in and cover it up for a face-off.
This St. Albert team is the Merchants, and they played this morning, and they lost to the St. Albert Rangers 6-5.
So they're 0-1 so far in this tournament. Makes a win for them tonight pretty important. And across the line, they trail at 1-0. Check dished out there by Smith Gander. St. Albert holding it in, though. Number 4 is Dave Ellis for St. Albert. Pass coming up center. Doesn't quite click. St. Albert flips it back into the Westlock territory. And Smith Gander goes back around behind his own net. Looking for a man in the open. Goes up the left side. Picks it up again. Wraps it over onto the right side. Long slap shot. That's handled from Norman Hennessy. And netminders Gray had no problem with that one. Westlock defense seeming to having trouble getting it through all those players. There's a shot, goes wide, and the rebound almost coming out the other side, leaving a hole. But the St. Albert defenseman was quick to clear it away. Helping it off the boards, Westlock holds it in. Delayed penalty coming up to St. Albert. I believe St. Albert. Well, I guess it is Westlock, although Westlock had the puck for quite a while before the whistle went. That's what made me think it was St. Albert, and it's slashing is the call.
That was number 9 Hodgson for Westlock. I guess he called it sloshing. It was a little difficult to see.
Slushing, was it?
Slushing or slashing?
That's Luke Hodgson drawing the 2 minutes. That penalty coming at 9:58 here the first period. So St. Albert has an opportunity to get this game going. There's a quick shot and a good save. Number 15, Lee Vendelagemart. Wish he didn't have the puck so much, personally. Good player. He's played a strong first 10 minutes of this first period. Deserves a recognition. I just wish I could pronounce his name properly each time. It's kind of difficult looking down and looking up at the same time. So Westlock with a penalty killing situation. St. Albert trying to get their power play organized. That's number 3, Barrett Stang. Pass up the middle. That'll be 2 lines, as I believe the pass was intended for Sheldon Ferguson for St. Albert, but he was kind of decked there at center ice. Puck went between him, and it ended up being touched by David Skidstad. That caused the offside pass or 2-line pass. It's all in the same thing for you hockey knowledgeables. Some people call it the offside pass, and others call it a 2-line pass.
Well, it's actually an offside pass nowadays. It's not the old 2-line, because you can be onside and still pick up the puck. Whereas in the old days, you couldn't. As long as it crossed 2 lines, it was a 2-line pass.
Yeah, even if your skates were on your own side of the red line and your stick was on the other side, it could be a 2-line pass, but now that's onside. Right? They go by your skates now instead of your stick or where you pick the puck up. So St. Albert back on the attack, cleared out in front of the net. But a good defensive move there by the Westlock Falcons as they kill off this penalty. Doing a good job of it so far. James back in. There's a chance, a shot, and right on.
That was Shevsky, and he had some holes there to shoot at, but he got it right up into the belly of the goalie. So
might have let it go a little quick. Gray just stood his ground, and I think he's a little fortunate there that Shevsky didn't try to pick a hole.
Yes.
Okay, so it's 1-0. Westlock still leading. They scored back at about the 3.5-minute mark of this first period. St. Albert cleared out and down the ice. Curtis will have to make the save, because of course it would have been icing on St. Albert. They hold it in. Shot right up into the midsection. One of the Westlock players. Shevsky clearing it out. St. Albert not being too effective with this power play. Westlock seems to have the puck most of the time. They come back in across the line. It's 1-on-2 in this case with Justin Stewart. He just let a shot go that ricocheted off the defenseman. The Falcons continue to hold it in. Now it comes out to center ice. Checked off the stick, but right to the St. Albert player, Jeff Anderson. He sidesteps one check, goes into the corner, clears it out in front. Rebound comes back, and it's cleared across. Nobody there. Westlock just dump it. Quick shot. It's a bouncer, and oh, went off the inside of his pad, I think, and out the other side, just missing that corner. Westlock trying a little bit in desperation here to get that puck out. Now succeed. Back comes Justin Stewart, and across the line, just dumps it in, goes for a change. St. Albert's number 3, Stang, picking it up, wrapping it off the boards and out to center ice. Westlock clearing it over onto the other side to Smith Gander. Dumps it up the right side to Williams. He tried to move it up the middle. And we have a stoppage in play. Guess they must have ruled that offside. By the face-off is the only way we're guessing. Oh, it is a slashing penalty to number 14, Morissette, for St. Albert. So that will change the tables, and we'll see how the Westlock Falcons do on a power play.
That last shot by St. Albert, if you noticed, it just ticked the goalpost also, so it was a good shot.
Still not counted as a shot on net, although they now have had a couple that Curtis has had to make stops on. A couple of good stops. So Westlock on the power play, setting up in the St. Albert zone. Just moving the puck around, looking for an opening. Good play there. Back to the point. A quick shot. A bouncer. Oh, now ricochet as Trent Shevsky made a good deflection there. That was a bad angle to make a deflection on because you don't have a whole lot of room.
Yeah, that was actually Jay Williams. Trent was over on this other side here, but good shot by Dehu right on the ice. He tends to get them a little high, so that was a good shot for Dehu.
Well, as we mentioned a little while ago, defensemen take note that that is the place to shoot the puck from the point. No forward can deflect it when it's up around your waist. So Westlock on the power play, dumping it out in front, and it's dumped out and down the ice, and a race for the puck. Nelson, St. Albert comes up with it. He's got a man out in the front slot, but didn't see him, just blindly threw it across in front of the net. Went into the corner, and back comes Westlock. Norman Hennessy clearing it around on the left boards. Out comes Shevsky on the left side. Takes it in across the line, sidesteps one check. He's got Williams out in front of the net. Lost the puck as he tried to go in behind. Here's Hennessy now, dumping it back in behind for Shevsky. Comes back to the point. A shot, and Gray deflects that one into the corner. Fanning shot, but here's another one. Oh, and just wide to the corner. He went for the right side of the net anyway, but just a little bit wide. Back comes St. Albert. They're content just to dump it in as they're still a man short. Westlock still on the power play. We've played, about 11 minutes, or approaching 11 minutes here this first period. Back comes Westlock's number 16, Shevsky, a race for the puck. But St. Albert will get it. Oh, good check. Thrown in the corner, but not good enough. It's going to be a penalty, even though they're playing the puck. Cross-checking. It's all right to knock the guy in as long as you don't use your stick to do it.
That was Shevsky got the penalty there. I believe it's checking from behind is the call.
Cross-check, I think, is what the referee indicated anyway. Was it? Or
checking from behind. That's a new rule.
Well, that's a new rule.
Yes, that's a new rule.
What's an old guy like me doing out here?
So we're four aside now. No, it's not. It's
just you can push a guy without using your stick, and
right.
It's a penalty.
Anywhere in the ice in minor hockey, if you push somebody from behind, it's a penalty.
That's probably a good rule. All right, Westlock in across the St. Albert line. This is Luke Hodgson. Dumps it out in front, and Gray covers up as he had a couple of visitors with red and white jerseys hanging around the front of the net, so he wanted to make sure.
We're four aside right now, but we're going to be short. Westlock's going to be short here in another 4 seconds.
Well, now we got another St. Albert player going to the penalty box. Number 11, Dave Skidstad just went over. So we didn't see what the indication was from the referee. That's the problem with no PA announcer here in the building.
Yes, I wonder why they don't have that.
Yeah, the things we miss like that, we don't get to cheat and pick it up from the PA announcers like the big boys do.
This is actually a very well-run tournament here, and our tournament chairman, by the way, is Leo Seagoin. He's doing a great job. He's putting in a lot of hours. They were here last night till 4:30 in the morning painting the ice, the logos on the ice for the Lions Club. So there's a lot of work involved, and Leo's doing a great job.
Ooh, it's kind of a high shot given there to the Westlock player. Yeah, R2D2 has done a great job so far in this tournament. No doubt will, by the time this hits the airwaves, have done a terrific job. Here's a chance for... Oh, a real feisty competitor there. His teammate grabs him to keep him out of any action that might cause a shorthanded, more of a shorthanded situation, because, of course, Westlock right now is even strength. Because of that penalty to St. Albert, they would have been shorthanded had it not been for that penalty, but now they're playing four aside. It was Van de Lagemert with a good play there. Weak shot, and almost a rebound. There's a backhand shot that goes wide. So Westlock tries to get something going. St. Albert dumping it up off the boards, out to center ice. It's number 12. Niels Hansen taking it in across the Westlock line, but lost it. So St. Albert waiting for their teammates to get on side. Didn't wait long enough as Morissette dumped it in. And he caught Hansen still inside the blue line. So we've now played 15 minutes and 29 seconds of this first period. It's still a 1-0 hockey game. The Westlock Falcons leading the St. Albert Merchants. This game 2 of the television portion of the tournament. It's, I believe, the 4th or 5th game of the tournament. Or no, it's more than that. I think it's about the 7th or 8th game of the tournament. This is a game from Monday night.
This is actually only the 2nd game of the Bantam tournament. There's also an Atom tournament going on at the same time.
Right. We've got a number of tournaments going on. Was it 5 altogether by the time the week's out?
I believe
Something
so,
like
yes.
That? Yeah. So lots of hockey action at the Westlock Arena, and for those watching, you missed it if you didn't get down to the arena and see it then, because that was a while ago, about a week ago. Penalty coming up to St. Albert as Westlock's trying to hang on to that puck as Curtis heads for the box. Tripping is the call against, I believe it's Maruziak, number 17, Edmund Maruziak, going off for tripping. A lot of penalties in this game. As a matter of fact, we were watching the game before this one between, I believe it was Swan Hills and St. Albert. And at one time, I don't know, Swan Hills had more players in the penalty box than they had in the players box. They got a little frustrated. They got beat about 12-4, 11-4, something like that.
And this is the Bantam age too, Les, and they've been hitting now for only 2 years because the hitting rule came back into effect for these boys last Pee-wee year. So they still, you know, there's still a little
animosity out there every once in a while. So playback underway. And now we've got a penalty coming up to Brent Smith-Gander for tripping. So just as fast as Westlock or St. Albert, for either case, gets a man advantage, they give it up by taking another penalty.
Yes, and some of these penalties, you know, they can be avoided if, you know, the boys just stop and realize that they could get a chance here to get ahead in the hockey game if they just...
Right, it's only 1-0, and of course in that situation there was no scoring threat. You say that's the only time you take a good penalty is when there's a scoring threat. Right. But at center ice, there's never a scoring threat when you got two defensemen back, and just because you got beat doesn't mean you have to haul them down. All right, Westlock on the attack. There's a shot from a bad angle, hit the side of the net. Goes back into the corner looking for his defenseman. It's tipped out by St. Albert, and a race for it at center ice. Picking up is Jamie Williams. Dumps it over on the left side to Shevsky. Shevsky in across the line. Stick handling. Lost it. But Westlock gets it back. Jay Williams this time. Williams out in front. Back over on the other side. Oh, and he flipped it just high, I believe, and maybe a little wide. But a good quick action there from Shevsky. Back comes St. Albert's number 7. That's Jeff Anderson, but he's 1-on-2, and he's ridden out of the play rather handily. Puck cleared, but not out. Here comes Shevsky, 2-on-1. Good pass across the other side. Williams in across, he shoots. Oh, a good save. Shevsky the rebound. The bouncing puck is finally covered up by Gray. And Hennessy and Shevsky teaming up very well there. Nice passing play.
Excellent scoring chance there. Shevsky passed the puck over to Hennessy, and Hennessy gets the first shot, and then Shevsky's right back there for the rebound, but can't put it in.
And again, that was a situation where I think the players have to look to the corners instead of the middle of the net, because that's where Gray is right in the middle of the net. From the drive, in amongst the skates, they're trying to kick it loose. Finally, St. Albert comes up with it and just rolls it out to center ice, where it's Dayu for Westlock, looking for a man in the clear. Finally gets it up to center ice. Over on the other side, in around the line, and he lost it as he tried to dip around. Got Hodgson out there now, along with Vandelgamard, and another penalty coming up, this time to Westlock. He's saying, what did I do? Maybe it was the stick hitting the ice that alerted the referee. I don't know.
Well, he did fall down, and Hudson... It wasn't Hudson, though.
Vandeligament is getting the penalty.
Getting the penalty for elbowing. So maybe that wasn't even the play.
Was that elbow?
Yeah.
I meant the penalty, not the call. We can give the refs a hard time. They won't be watching.
And the refs tonight are Mal Yegas and... Who's the other one there?
That's Gordy Polis. Third out and down the ice. So we can give Papa Smurf a bad time here on his refereeing calls. So Westlock is now shorthanded. It's 3-against-4, and it hasn't been too many minutes of this first period, but both teams have played at full strength. We've played 18:08 now of the first period. Westlock still leading 1-0 as St. Albert tries to get things organized at center ice. Partially dumped into Westlock territory, and they just wrap it back out, back to the St. Albert blue line. Flipped off into the corner. Bad pass there. Westlock content just to rag the puck in St. Albert territory. They come up with it now, clearing it out towards center ice. And it looks like you can have it, no, I don't want it. You can have it, I don't want it, right there at center ice. Finally, it's tipped out and down the ice. And, ooh, that was almost close to too many men on the ice as the St. Albert player stepped on the ice and touched it just as the other player cleared the box. So now we have an offside pass coming from Barrett Stang over to Sheldon Ferguson, and that was definitely an offside pass. I think they had about 8 feet to spare on both sides of the lines. So Westlock a man short. We're 5-on-4, and we're down to 1:13 here in the first period to play. 1-0 Westlock leading it. Westlock's Justin Stewart trying to get a hold of that puck, gets it in the corner, dumps it back on the point. Shot deflected into the corner by St. Albert. Never got to the goaltender. They flip it out. Again stopped by Smith-Gander. He's trying to hold it in on the line. They fight for it along the boards. Finally, that gets a stoppage in play. Really, the defenseman has to do that when you get in that situation where you can't play it. You don't want to let it go because that means you're going to be caught. So it's probably a smart play in that situation. If you can't get it to one of your players, is to freeze it right there on the boards. You even get the face-off inside the blue line. St. Albert clearing it back out to center. Westlock trying to get something going now. On the left side is David Larson. Long shot, and Gray just deflects that off into the corner. That was a very tough angle to get anything going there. Larson again, tipping it to center, gets it back, knocks it off the St. Albert player. Stain does it again. Wonder if that puck's been frozen. There's a long shot. That's a good shot from that far out. St. Albert fanning on it a little bit as Larson takes it in behind the net, just dumps it over to the corner. Nobody there. So St. Albert still trailing by 1 as we tick down the last seconds. There's a shot. Curtis just let that one go. He knew that one was high and wide. And that ends the first period of play in this game, with Westlock leading by a score of 1-0. And really kind of a ragged period of hockey, but some good plays as well, Wayne.
Yes, and Westlock, I believe, you know, it seemed that they dominated. They were down in the St. Albert end most of the time, having a little trouble putting the puck in the net, but maybe they'll come around.
Well, if they've had some good scoring opportunities, maybe if Coach John Stewart points out to them that when you get those kind of opportunities, don't shoot at the goaltender. Shoot where he isn't, because that's the only way the puck usually goes in. The odd time you can knock it through him, but Shevsky had a couple of scoring opportunities there, made some good moves to get in close on Gray. The same with Van der Ligemet. Can you say that again?
That's Van der Ligemet.
Van der Ligemet. I'll get that. If you keep saying it enough, I'll get it. He played a good period of hockey. He had a couple of good opportunities. So we'll return when they get ready to play the second period of play.